up? Back again. I'm bwriter. It's my co-host,
J Bell.
and this is
Final Thoughts.
Today's topic, you all knew this one was coming. Derrick Jaxson. Let's check it out.
But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxson was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing. And some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some in terms of like just chatting or checking on people or being checked on by people that I've had a previous encounter with. But without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history, all of it falls under the umbrella of inappropriate, cheating, affair, stepping out, definitely not in alignment with the vows that I took, and definitely not in alignment with the biblical standard of what it means to be faithful, which is the standard that I'm going by now. Now, I'm saying this publicly, not because I'm, married to you guys. First and foremost, I'm accountable to God. Then I have to be accountable to my wife, in which we've already had this conversation. I've already told her literally everything. I've given her basically a roll call list. If I've said hello to a woman in the last 12 years of me knowing her, she knows about it. But now that it's been made so public, it's important that I first off let you guys know I do not stand by those actions. I don't want to encourage anybody to do that. And then secondly, I know that I cannot build a platform preaching certain things, preaching against certain things, and then in my real life live contrary to that.
Here we are. I think, speaking for the fellas, we all knew this was coming, right? We all kind of felt like this was gonna be a thing at some point in time. So it's not even like,
Oh no, that's crazy.
who did what?
It was Obama. Nah, come on.
Derrick Jaxson cheated on his wife.
Right.
This is the Twilight Zone. Never.
It's gone bananas.
This is
No.
bananas.
So, I've been saying this for a long time. If a man leads with religion, he's more than likely using it as a tool to manipulate and control you. And men have been doing this for a very long time because, because let's go with Christianity, because that's the religion that's most prevalent in the world. And
It's the topic.
yeah, and women desire a spiritual leader, a man that's going to cover the household. These are values taught from young. Is what you've seen your parents do, is what you've seen your grandparents do, and so on and so forth and so on. And like I said, when they lead with religion, that should just automatically be a red flag. It's okay to love the Lord and however, whatever, but when they lead and try to be this person that's just overly, spiritual and connected to God like that, but in a way that they're trying to use it to keep or gain your attention, there's something else going on there. What's your thoughts on like the religious aspect of that?
I mean, I've seen it before, definitely.
Yeah,
like
of course.
Guys who use their own devoutness to impress a woman who is looking for that in their life.
Yeah.
So they pretend, or they put on this facsimile of a person who is devout, who is, I'm all about my scriptures. I'm looking for my partner in Christ, and that's me, and that's who I am. And understand that there are men out there who are genuinely like that, right?
Yeah.
Which is what makes it so difficult to discern
Yeah, I was about
when
to say.
somebody is using it as a tool to further their own manipulation, right? That's what makes it hard, because I know people who are really like this, who are, everything that they do is God first, Christ first, whatever, and that's the way that they enter into any relationship. And
I agree.
It's difficult, right?
I agree. Yeah, it's hard to be able to tell the difference between the two.
Right. When someone is being genuine about it, and when someone is just
using it as a tool.
right.
But don't you find it also funny on the other side of it? You know, without being in a relationship. Now we're in a relationship and something happens. And all before, that person wasn't bringing up God and God's plan and living in God's light and stuff like that.
Right.
They get caught doing some stuff that they shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
And now all of a sudden they're just super religious. You know, now they're not living in God's plan and
calling on them in times of strife. Huh? That's what you got to do, I suppose.
My personal favorite is when, you know, people that get caught doing something and they blame the devil. I'm like, well, the devil wasn't up in there stroking you to get you hard for the, you know, the devil wasn't doing that. That was you.
That will put it in your eyesight. That's what happened.
Not to mention,
it's a weird situation
Yeah.
to be in that for a woman trying to find out what is real or not, because that's kind of like how women date, right? You get approached by men all day. Your job as a woman, basically in today's climate, is filtering which one is real, which one is fake.
Absolutely.
Who is bullshit, who isn't.
Right.
So you might be looking for, I'm just looking for a guy who wants to start a family, who is religious, who wants to lead in Christ. And here comes Derrick Jaxson. Derrick Jaxson.
Not to be confused.
Not to be confused with Derrick. No. Derrick Jaxson is the guy who shows up and he's Christ first. I am your alpha male. I am your masculine man who is under no one but God, who will lead you wherever you need to go and
Preach.
take care of you and support you. Ain't no 50-50 over here. I pay all of the bills. You take the role of the woman. He's that guy.
Yep.
And in that, you get some women, that might be all of what they wanted. This is everything I want, in a man, right here. So not only are you getting everything you want, but that kind of clouds your discernment in that, because it's almost like this is too good to be true. And if I pass this up, will it ever come again? So
that's a very real thing to get caught up in the whole facade that this guy has up, and I don't know, man. Like that's a. What would you say to women to like sharpen their tools to like pick off the guy that's the Derrick Jaxson of the world? What would be your advice? Like,
it's difficult, man. It's hard. Definitely go slow. Always. There's nothing wrong with taking your time to get to know somebody, to go out on multiple dates, even to date other people. There's nothing wrong with that. I've always been an advocate of taking your time and dating other people while you're dating.
Don't put all your eggs in the basket.
No.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that gives you more ample time to see who this person is, see what they do, and to make a proper judgment, rather than, I like him and that's who I want. You're like, no, you should take your time. There's other people out here. There might be better people out here. This person might be trying to manipulate you into thinking one way about them, and they're not, right? So just take your time. There's no need to rush. Typically, I'm not the kind of person who likes to dogpile on people, because I'm like, especially in this situation, it's like everybody is saying what needs to be said, what's already been said. Like, what can we add to it? At the same time, I'm like, this is kind of warranted, because this is a person who I'm sure, well, ladies, your male friend has probably already told you, Derrick Jaxson is a charlatan. He isn't. Why would you take his advice? He's BS. He's bullshit. And it just, vindication feels good, right? Like, I think as guys, we all knew that this was coming and that this guy was pandering to women.
Oh my goodness!
And we could see it, and I'm sure that we've had conversations. You've had conversations with
of course,
females in your life, and you've told them like, Derrick Jaxson He's just trying to make money. And I think the video
Proves
his explanation of his actions helps prove that, because like you're going through strife in your marriage life and you feel like this is the proper time to promote a book.
Don't you feel like it's just a convenient time for the book to come out right along when the social, somebody's exposing him and all that? You already had the book written and published and it's out there to be purchased,
ready to
and isn't it just, look, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist,
but isn't a little convenient?
This is a little more convenient than usual, and I think it's just a part of his plan to make more money, really, and that's the even worse. That's the even more messed up part about it, because it's not only his wife who is being manipulated. It's obviously she's under some spell. He's cast on her.
Right.
But he's manipulating the women that follow him. And that's the dangerous part. That's the part that scares me, because we have to date women, right? And some we may date that follow him, some we date that won't. But if we do fall into if we do date a woman that does follow him, and they're just like, well, he may have messed up, but his message was right. And he didn't say nothing wrong. It's like, well, anybody that's pandering to somebody automatically has a bias.
Yes.
And if you have a bias, then you have a blind spot. And if you have a blind spot, there are things that you miss, which means you're not going to be 100% accurate or correct with anything that you say. Yeah, a dead clock is right 2 times a day. You know what I'm saying? That he will get some things right. I'll give him that. There are some things where he said something in a video or a few videos, and I was like, I do agree.
Yes.
But
it's not the message that really was the problem for
no,
me. It was the
wasn't.
Intent behind the message.
The manipulation.
Right.
That's the.
And that's what it's that you don't really believe what you're saying. You're just trying to manipulate people to get money, to garner money. And you're continuously doing it.
At your wife's expense.
At your wife's expense.
And that's like the most disrespectful, and that just makes me not like, the whole situation. Because this is, you look at his wife and just like, can't you just snap out of it? Like, wake up.
It's like she doesn't see it almost, But I don't know the inner workings of their relationship.
That's true. Unless she do see it, and she might see it.
Yeah, she might see it, and she might be okay.
It's
with
the money. I don't know.
It could be a myriad of things.
Right.
Maybe she really, really loves him, and she doesn't want to leave him. Maybe the money is so good that she's comfortable.
She'll deal with the
deal
BS.
With this until and we'll probably never know what that is, what reason she has.
Yeah, man, like that. It is a lot. And recently, I've seen somebody say that we should mind our own business, right? And that they get tired of people celebrating other people's failures. And I was just like, well, this guy made it a point for it to be public and on social media. There's a reason it's called social.
It's social.
And it's media. So it can easily be propagated. You know what I'm saying? It can transfer from one to one to one to one to many.
Yes.
You can't expect us to not drag you.
I mean, he probably knew that this was coming.
Of course.
He had to jump out in front of it.
Grab the bull by its horns.
Yeah, he had to do that. And at that point, it's pretty much fair game.
Yeah.
Everybody's commenting on it. We are no exception.
Right.
It's just, I'm sure it's disappointing for a lot of women and who felt like he was the ideal man and he was espousing truth.
The golden standard of men.
Yeah. I hope that this serves as a lesson to kind of discern a little bit more about the people that you get your information from, and listen to the men who are around you, because usually we're able to tell when somebody is trying to pull the wool over your eyes, whether it's Derrick Jaxson or Steve Harvey or your local pastor.
Yeah.
You know, we're usually pretty good at fishing out bullshit. You know? So just pay attention to that. If you are a Derrick Jaxson fan, then take something from this. You know,
Yeah.
don't just dismiss it and sweep it under the rug and say, oh, his lessons were still good. Like, let's look at the man and where these words, where these messages come from, and what his intentions were.
Look at the manipulation behind it. Like you said, men aren't trying to be like, because he said something about us and he exposing bad behavior with men. Like, no, okay, whatever. We're looking at how he's been manipulating women throughout the years, and we don't like that, and we're not okay with it, and that's why we're speaking out against it. Yeah, a lot of people are hypocrites. We've all probably been a hypocrite at some point in our time, but mass manipulation, you know, like how many people can say they did, you know, to such degree as this man. He's made millions off of pandering to broken and hurt women. And he knows this. He knows that's what his fan base is mostly composed of, and he's been using that. So
that's why he's still attempting to do that. That's why he's releasing a book. That's why he made a video.
People are buying it.
Critiquing himself in the
third person.
That's why he did that. Because
it's so crazy.
He
Textbook
knows,
narcissist.
He knows that he can still make money off of this. This is still a business at the end of the day for him. This is still his way of living. So whether it's right or wrong, he's
at
still
his wife's expense.
Yeah. He's
couldn't do that to.
He got to eat at his wife's expense, and that's on them at that point in time. That's on her what she's willing to accept, and that's on him what he's willing to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You have any final thoughts about this?
Yeah, I would say this is my final thoughts. And some people follow me on social media, some people don't. But for those who this video gets to, love yourself enough to leave a toxic relationship. Don't let somebody use religion to control and manipulate you. Understand what gaslighting and manipulation and control looks like inside and outside of a relationship. You know, and if you do decide to stick with the person that's done you something wrong and you're having trouble with it, if you don't believe in therapy or anything like that, at least talk to a friend or something like do something that will get you back to you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes everybody can't just keep that in. It'll manifest itself in different ways that'll probably be negative to your life. And just be vigilant. Just try to understand the person before you make such huge commitments like marriage.
True that. My final thoughts are pretty much the same as yours. Just, you know, ladies, be about discernment. You know, critique, validate. You know, fish through what they're saying. Anybody, any and everybody. What do they mean when they say these things? I've never been a fan of like dating coaches myself, particularly ones that tell me what I want to hear. You know, if somebody's telling you what you want to hear, then you should definitely look further into that. Don't just believe it because it's what you want to hear. Why are they saying it? Do they actually mean it, or are they just telling you what you want to hear? You know, it's as simple as that for me. That's all.
All right.
Yeah, but again, this has been bwriter,
J Bell,
and this is
Final Thoughts.
You can follow me at on IG, bwriter, and
all right. Yeah, you can find me on IG chaos_noop, and it's chaos with the K.
Yeah, that's right. We'll check y'all out next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below. How do you feel about it?
Yep.